So finally finished, or mostly finished the office studio, recording studio. There's a lot more room in here. It makes me feel a lot more comfortable. So hopefully I'll spend some more time in here and maybe put out some more content. Really, really want to get the podcast up to once a week again. It's just one of those things, man. Like and I don't know if it's the COVID or if it's the time of year or what could be causing like my lack of motivation. But man, like I really want to get things going again. Like this is my happy place. This is what really brings me like joy and fulfillment. I'm just having a really freaking hard time getting focused. Maybe it's just because it's like in such fits and starts that I can't really seem to figure out how to get moving, but I'm really hoping that that'll change pretty soon. Also, it's weird shit, right? So like the breakfast rap video that I made, I like something like close to 400 views, right? Any interviews that I've done or movie reviews and stuff, 70. It's so weird. Like the internet's such a weird place, and which I've always known, but it's kind of hard to get like focused if you don't really know what it is you want to do. And I know that that's one of those things that like people don't realize before they start doing stuff like this is that you need to have something to say. You need to have not like a gimmick or a hook, but you need to have something to come out and say. So, you know, the thing that I've been struggling with, and I know that a lot of people have been struggling with this ever since COVID happened, it has really like disrupted our lives, is the fallout, the long haul stuff, the things that seem to change everything. One of the things that really has been screwy for me is my memory, right? So I decided, you know, hey, I'm just break down. One of the best purchases I have ever made. It was like $18. It's a leather-bound journal. I use it almost every day. I just use it to write stuff down. What I found is for me, it's not so much about writing it down and referring to it. It's the fact that once I write something, I'm more likely to remember it. So I bought a nice pen, nice journal. I used it pretty regularly. Nice thing is this one's it's like passport sized, right? So it's got several sections separated. So I can use one for journaling, one for like grocery lists, and then another one I use for podcast topics. So, you know, it's fun. It's funny because I'm a super techie guy, right? Like, you know, I've had iPhones for the last 3 or 4 generations. I've got laptop, multiple computers. But I just find that if I put something into my iPhone as like a memory or a note, I'll just never refer to it again. But this, I take this out of my pocket every night, right? So I can just look at it, or just the act of physically writing it makes a huge difference. Plus it's pretty freaking cool looking, right? I'm a creature of habit, and I like to have things that are always a certain way, which it might be obsessive, right? It might be weird, but I find that if I always have the things the way that they're supposed to be, then I don't have to worry or have anxiety over them. I always carry my wallet in my right back pocket. I always carry one knife in my coin pocket, right? It's always nice to have a knife, right? Something that you can use to open boxes and something easy to carry, easy to get to. I'm not a big concealed carry guy, so I just like to have a knife. Worst case, I guess you have to stab somebody in the neck. Never going to happen, right? And then I always carry my Swiss Army knife too, because it's got all the tools on it that I need. And it was a Father's Day present in 2010 from my boys, 6/20/2010, clown shoes. Yeah. I always have those two things in my right pocket. My left pocket is my money clip, and then a lot of times my phone. But, you know, these big, massive freaking oil tankers of phones that we have now, they just don't fit in your pocket very well. And I'm definitely not a back pocket phone guy, because I will sit on this thing and shatter it, no doubt. But I always have my phone on me somewhere, probably in my left front pocket. I always wear a hat. It's kind of like my security blanket, you know, and especially in times like this with COVID, and I'm just going to keep referencing COVID because obviously it's a huge impact on our lives right now. But like, I like to have things that make me feel comfortable and safe, which I know is horrible, because you can't ever really advance quickly in life if you're so worried about being safe, which is probably what's always held me back. Constant worry about being safe. When you have anxiety like I do, if you can't do something to temper that with routines and things that make you feel comfortable, then you're just a mess and you don't get anything done. I like to have those things. I have an everyday carry knife. I have my leather journal. I have my hat. I like to be comfortable. And there's a dress code at my job, so I really like to wear the clothes that I like to wear when I'm off work. I don't shave when I'm not working. I also never go to my office if I'm not working. People talk about work-life balance a lot, but for somebody like me, the work-life balance is even more important because I have to make a distinct separation between my job and my home life. Otherwise, I'll bring my job home with me, and that is miserable for everybody. Nobody wants to experience that. Nobody wants to have to sit and listen to somebody talk about their job or obsess over it or be miserable about it. So I will straight up leave my work clothes at work. I'll change into like casual clothes from my corporate clothes right at work. So it's like changing a character, like old theater shit, right? So I'm getting out of that character and getting into me. And that might be a little extreme. Like I wouldn't say that all people have to do that, but for me it works and it makes me feel a lot better. Another thing is coffee. I drink a lot of coffee. I know that I have an addictive personality. I worry that if I had ever gotten into like hard drugs or something when I was in college, I would be a disaster right now and probably would be dead because once I find something that I enjoy, I partake a lot. It's strange that I never became an alcoholic because I like beer, but something about alcohol I'm able to temper. But coffee, this is like, look at how big this thing is, right? Look at huge. This is my third one today. And I fill it all the way full. I'm also very obsessive about, so before I redesigned this office, I didn't like coming down here because it made me just uncomfortable enough that I couldn't, this is going to sound so weird, but I couldn't enjoy working because I wasn't quite comfortable. Now I pushed the desk all the way to the wall. It used to sit out cockeyed so that Eric could sit on the other side when we recorded the podcast. Now we'll have to come up with something different, but it took up like 3/4 of the room, this whole desk. And so you had to kind of like shimmy around to get to stuff. It was very uncomfortable. Everything felt really cluttered. I had shelves full of stuff that I was never going to use. And so I've started pulling things out of here. We, over the course of last week, it took us like several days, but over the course of last week, we cleared out the crawl space, threw an entire truckload of garbage out to the dump. And it was cathartic, right? You're getting rid of all this stuff. It's like just clutter and old things that you're never, ever going to touch again. So we got rid of all that stuff and I cleaned out this office. So like I have floor space. I have places to put things. I have an ability to set up lights and make things a little bit more polished and finished looking. So you have to take care of yourself, right? You have to do what makes you feel well. And you're going to have a lot of people in your life tell you, well, this is what you should do, which is kind of what I'm doing right now. But they're talking about what works best for them. So what I'm telling you to do is do what works best for you. Do what makes you feel healthy. Do what makes you feel well. People might push you to take risks. People might push you to make changes in your life. But if that's not something that's going to make you feel good, then don't do it. People might judge you for not making decisions or for not taking risks. But if that's not for everybody, right? So you need to do whatever works for you and be happy. Be happy. That's the most important thing that you can do is be happy. But you have to find that magic elixir, that magical choice that helps you be happy. And that's easier for some people than others. Some people are just naturally happy. Some people are happy by default. Unfortunately, I'm not one of those people. I have to work to be happy. And it used to really frustrate me. But what I find now is when I put in the work, when I do the work to be happy, when something really good happens or I'm successful or I finish a project or I complete something, I feel like I get more satisfaction from that than most people would because I believe it's harder for me. And when you do something that's hard, there's a lot of fulfillment from that. But you have to do what's right for you. Don't mire yourself down with other people's hopes, dreams, and expectations. Be a good person and be happy, and everything else will come together. So like I said, I'm hoping to do some more content now that the office is a little bit more set up. The weather's getting nice outside, maybe get some outside stuff. We are going to Oregon next month, so I'm really hoping there's going to be a bunch of video content that comes from that. I have a lot more equipment than I had the last time we went, so a lot more I'm going to say a lot more, right? So more options on how I can get video and photos. I'm really, really looking forward to it. So I hope that we can upload some stuff from out there. Plus, it's so relaxing. It'd be nice to get out of here for a little while. Lots of changes coming in our household in the next 6 months. So I keep finding excuses, right? I keep finding excuses not to record the podcast weekly. I keep finding excuses not to release videos. I keep finding a lot of excuses. But maybe that's going to be my promise to myself. Stop finding excuses and to just have fun. Like, this is fun. Podcasting is fun. Editing is fun. Being stupid is fun. So that's my goal for the next time I make another one of these videos, is to find a way to have more fun.